people that build you up just to tear you down. I understand that we go through life's changes and we also have things that go on in our lives that cause us to get discouraged sometimes. And I'm here to touch on that for a little while. Building people up to tear them down is it's almost like a way of life these days where people get what they can get out of you and then they move on. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot get discouraged by that. You put people in their places, you let them operate. I think it's more about expectations these days. We expect so much out of the next person that you end up losing in the end because your expectations were way higher or more than they can put out. I think that gauging the scope of their capacity to operate is very important also. So really people with integrity focus more on building and celebrating you than they do with what they can get out of you. Yes, people feed off of you. Yes, people absolutely want to take something from you and put it in their tool bag to help themselves. But I think it's gotten to a point to where you're expecting way too much from those around you and not doing a lot of focusing on your vision and your goal. I, for one, have been in situations where I expected a whole lot out of the people I was dealing with because I understood their potential. I understood how much they can put out just from what I had seen. But then I had to realize that, man, it's my it's my duty to take care of my vision, right? It's my duty, it's my responsibility to care for the things that I love, right? So now I wanted to talk to you today, get into it with today a little bit about building you up to tear you down. Now, people get discouraged when they hear that phrase. And I didn't so much get discouraged when I heard the phrase the first time because I was like, well, isn't that law? And how did they tear you down? Because they came and did what they said they was going to do. You should know when to cut that line short. So if we do business, and I do mean do business, if we do business, no friendships, no family, no other titles, business, no matter who they are, I only expect what you said that you would put out. Whatever, I try not to get people to do things for free because you already know how expensive favors can get. I don't like asking people for favors. That's just me personally. I understand that we're wired to connect, and people should be able to do for you as you've done for them. But that's just not the world we live in, right? That's just not the world we live in. We live in a world where everybody wants everything right now, right? And they also don't want to put out more than they can handle at the time. You never know what somebody got going on in their life. And I particularly don't like to get into what you got going on if it has nothing to do with me and my business. Now, back to being built up to be torn down. Now, I never understood the part where you're saying, or people say rather, that they're tearing you down. How are they tearing you down? Is it maliciously? Is it a direct threat? Those things I can understand. But if you're talking about they've lived up to what they said they would live up to, they've done the things such as be on time where they were supposed to be, done the things they were supposed to do, and now they just quit on you. They never want to work with you again. They never want to put in that time. Hello to all the viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Get your drinks, whatever you're rolling up, get that. What I was saying was that I never understood how it's a teardown if they fulfilled what they told you they would fulfill. So if I personally was dealing with someone, let's say I got a show that their only part was to walk down the aisle and greet everybody. If they walk down the aisle and greet everybody, I don't expect them to volunteer themselves down the line at another event for anything. I don't expect that from them. So is that them not supporting you? Is that them not sticking their neck out for you? No. I asked them for one thing and one thing only. I didn't ask them to tie themselves to my destiny. So we got to be careful in how we label people and label situations, because naturally, if that person is not tied to your destiny, there is not much more that should be done, because now you're getting into the dangerous waters of overcompensating in potential. So yes, because just because they have the potential to accomplish certain things for you in your vision, mind you, it's yours. It belongs to you. It belongs to you and only you, your responsibility. Just because they have the potential to carry out these things does not mean they owe it to you, right? So that's not somebody tearing me down. That's just somebody staying in their lane as I look at it, right? But then you get into those people that say you got people tearing you down behind the scenes verbally. They don't necessarily agree with how you're moving. They don't necessarily agree with certain people you decided to work with. I don't see that as tearing me down. They just disagree. They disagree. If they're not actively and effectively destroying what I'm trying to build, it's not a threat. They're just talking. People are allowed to disagree with you. People are allowed to say that it doesn't feel good to hear those type of things from whether it's loved ones, friends, or distant friends, or even family. You know what I'm saying? Just because they disagree with you don't mean they want you to fail. I think we take it way too personal. Naturally, we take it personal because it's from an emotional standpoint. You would think that the ones say that they love you would do everything in their power to support you, right? That's not their obligation. They still have a choice. They still have a choice. So to get emotional and bent out of shape, um, what you're doing is taking away from your focus to win. You're taking away from your focus to win. And I guarantee you, at no point in your vision did you write down and plan to be distracted. Those distractions can cost you for a very, very long time, right? I It can also cost you to dream. If you go along the way acting as if someone owes it to you to be down with you. Someone owes it to you to give to your cause. Someone owes it to you to be supportive in any way, whether it's monetarily, uh, emotionally, or even spiritually in some cases. They don't owe you that. They don't owe you that. You owe it to yourself to motivate you and love what you got going on, because naturally, if you're giving off the right energy, if you're giving off pure intentions, those that gravitate to it will. No matter what's being said behind the scenes, no matter what's being done outside of you, those that are meant to gravitate to your cause and your vision will gravitate to it. They'll come to every event. They'll come to every speaking engagement. They will listen to your music, whatever it is you do. They'll support you because it fits whatever's going on in their life. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting and working with so many people over the past 3 years that literally I forgot some of their names. I just know them by faces because it was a business transaction of maybe a couple of hours, shook hands, business cards exchanged, and then I moved on. Now, can I say that I have that as a resource down the line? Sure, maybe, but who's to say they even remember Jermaine, right? Maybe they don't remember Jermaine because I didn't make a big enough impression that first time. And who are you to say you did your best to make the biggest impression? Well, that's their opinion. It's their opinion to say whether or not you made a big enough impression on them for them to remember you, right? So I can't just look at this business card and think, oh, they owe me now. We done business together. That's wow. That's crazy. They don't owe you a thing. So the build you up to tear you down thing only has me torn. It only has me torn because of how the perspective of tearing you down is put out there. Are they physically, mentally, or directly a threat to what you got going on? So once you ask yourself those three questions, I tend to say no in all three areas. These people are not trying to hurt me directly, These people are not tearing down what I've built directly. People say all kind of stuff. People gonna talk whether you're doing something or not. So why not be successful in your journey? People are going to talk. That's just what this world is built upon. Communication. They're gonna open their mouth and they're gonna say things. Some people have told me they said something about me, they misjudged me, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I said it at first, but I misjudged you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ike says it's no shame in that because that it's no shame in that because that you cannot remember because you can't remember their face. Mr. Seven, you are correct. I personally remember faces. I forget names though. You know, I might forget your name. And then that right there doesn't say they didn't make a big enough impression on me. It literally just says, hey man, we only dealt with each other for such a small period of time. We didn't build a tough relationship for me to go back and say, oh yeah, Bill. I need to call Bill because Bill is a plumber and he'll come through and you know what I'm saying? That was just a one-time thing. Maybe Bill had a resource that I had to point him in somebody else's direction. I might not need no plumber, so I don't particularly remember Bill's name. You know what I'm saying? I just might be in passing and say, damn, I remember dude. Dealt with him before. How you doing, man? You know, one of those things. It's never the disrespect of not remembering your name. But what I can say is when somebody is tearing you down, it's a direct physical threat. It's a direct tear down if they are trying to sabotage your business by spreading. I don't even think that people can spread enough word for people not to mess with me because I feel like what God got for me, it's for me, right? It's for me. It's okay, nobody, no man take away what God put forth for me to have, right? But do I stop pushing forward because somebody said not to mess with me? Is that something I should do? Man, hell no. Not a chance. You understand me? Not a chance. If you can move me that easily with a few words, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. I should find something else to do. Let me tell you something about words also. They stick. They stick to some people. Not Jermaine. I've been called out of my name. I'm pretty sure nobody can call me something I've never heard. I've been called out of my name so many times for sometimes things I did do and for a lot of things I didn't do. People just are gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? But it's not enough to kill my vision. So I'm here to talk to y'all today about what to focus on when it comes to somebody building you up to tear you down. Let's start with close family. Blessings to you, Miss Marcia, and everybody else watching today. Love, 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 salute to all of you. Um, some see the method of tearing somebody down after they've built them up, celebrated them as an attack, right? As a pure attack. Amir says, no matter what someone says, your action and the quality thereof will speak for itself, my brother. Keep going up. I appreciate that, Mr. Shaw. Key, Miss Hale, she says, no, sir. Don't stop speaking. Your words are so necessary. Thank you for that. Mr. Sanford said, wise man says a fool keeps his knowledge and a wise man shares his knowledge. Preach on, brother. Absolutely. So there you have it. We have those in agreement that say that if you just continue with the vision, eventually those things that were supposed to come to pass will. I found myself doubting some of the things I did, even my prices. I found myself doubting prices. I found myself saying, damn, maybe I did do too much. But I know what I invested prior to even selling a ticket. I know what came out of my pocket, and nobody knows that but me because I'm the only one running this, right? So if you look at overhead, you look at investment, and you look at return, everybody in here watching, I guarantee you, if you spent $20, you're not selling something to make $20 only, right? Everybody knows how business works. You sell something to make a profit. You don't want to break even because if you were gonna break even, why do all the leg work, right? Why do something just to get nothing? That makes no sense. I think in everything we invest in, we want return. I think that's the game, that's the meaning of investment. Whether long term or short term, you want to see the return. So I found myself poisoning my own mind. It was nobody else's doing. I got to blame me. But full transparency to the people, I found myself poisoning my own brain with self doubt and telling myself maybe I jumped out there too fast. I've had a couple of those nights to myself. I've also had a couple of the nights where I wanted to literally just say, forget it. Forget it. I'm in the wrong city. I need to move. This ain't gonna work here. People just ain't up for something new. They don't see the vision. I've been trying to spell it out for them. This is gonna be major. Yeah, I'm telling myself all these things, right? And giving up in the same way. And man, when I went to God about that, he probably laughed the hardest he's laughed all week, because as I'm saying that, the very things I'm saying might not work are working. And it was visible to me. People were actively on my phone buying tickets. People were actively catching me at the gas station. Bro, you got some tickets on you? Let me get them tickets. So for the few people, for the few that got in my ear about the price being too high, or I ain't messing with dude, or this, that, and the third, it was funny that the moment I started to doubt my bigger vision, everything was in place. The money, the workers, the people buying the tickets, all of that started rolling all in the same time I started to doubt. And that right there, I will tell you, for me, that was God. That was God saying, I wish you would give up as soon as you started the vision. We didn't come this far to quit, right? So this is what I want to tell you people out there today. Miss Key, first, let me read this comment. Miss Key Scott said Christ couldn't do nothing helpful in his own hometown. Remember, he moved around. Absolutely. Mr. Sanford said, just can't please everybody. And somebody going to be mad. Now, ain't that the truth? That's the next point I was going to get to. My biggest fault and problem, my biggest downfall mentally, was that I was trying to please everybody in the room, knowing I've posted the status before. I've posted the status before where I said, if everybody in a room is satisfied with me, I am doing something wrong. If I don't rub somebody the wrong way, then I am not being true to myself. I am being a people pleaser, and I'm not being my true self, right? How you doing, Miss Kimmy? Welcome, welcome. So I'm not being my true self because I don't care if you got the greatest idea in the world. There is somebody else standing next to you that feels like they got a better idea. They got a better idea or easier way to do it, or you spent too much money on this. You should have went this way. I could have helped you with that. I'm better at it than whoever did it. You know, it's always some kind of uh, com- com- conflicting thoughts or conflicting ideas. There's always going to be that if you got a room full of thinkers and creatives, right? I sat in a room with some podcasters, probably about 2 months ago. They were out of Kentucky, and the other one was out of Detroit. And those two individuals, I'm telling you, they're dope geniuses. They're dope. They got some of the dopest ideas down the line. I won't give you their dream and their visions. I'm sure they didn't want that to leave the room. Um, Mr. Jason, how you doing, sir? But long story, less long, those two creatives bumped heads the entire 3 to 4 hours that we was in that room. And I listened. I sat back. I did a lot of listening. They was like, bro, we invited you here because we know you got a bigger vision. It's bigger than ours. And we want to hear what your thoughts were. And this, that, and the third. And I said, well, it's hard for me to speak to a bunch of individuals that have no intention of listening. It is absolutely impossible to speak to somebody that is not here to listen as well as they speak, right? So he was like, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean? Well, what I mean is I might have a great idea. I might have a great idea. But if you just came to talk, I don't have a great idea that will soak in and that you'll take, even if you have to revise it a little and use it. Mr. Sanford said, when you are young, you do wrong stuff, it's all good. God knows your heart, right? Well, when I was young, I did all the wrong stuff, even when I was grown. You know what I'm saying? But back to the Potters that I met, these guys are gonna be on TV one day. They are further along than I am right now, right? They got deals on the table, they signing stuff. I don't know what they signing particularly, right? I don't know what they signing, but it's for big money. It's for big dough. And the only reason I talk to them is because I like to be in a room full of people doing way better than me, because talking to somebody that ain't doing nothing ain't helping me. A broke man can't lead me nowhere but back to where I came from. And I'm already standing in it, right? And not to say we broke or I'm broke. I just feel like a broke man can't lead me nowhere but to teach me what not to do. And I already know what not to do. So I'm further than that. I like to keep people in the room that's doing way better than me, just so I can get the blueprint about where I'm going. I know where I came from. I just need guidance on where I'm going, right? So in that room that day, the things those other two people uh learned from me was that I didn't have a lot to say. They thought I was gonna come. I was gonna give all this big advice. You know what I'm saying, Miss Letitia? I'm gonna get right to your comment. Blessings to you, Queen. Welcome, Miss Raylina. Welcome. Uh, they thought that I was coming in there to give a whole bunch of information. Keep in mind, we was there for 3 to 4 hours, just chopping it up, doing some. It was basically a meeting of the minds. You know what I'm saying? And they said, "Dog, really thought we was gonna get more out of you. You drove all this way. I feel like you ain't get to express yourself." I said, well, I found out in the first 5 minutes it was nothing for me here, because y'all came to battle about who has the best idea. And I came to learn from two guys that I know for a fact have done what I'm just trying to do right now. And neither one of y'all came in teacher mode. Y'all came in battle mode. At that moment, I realized it's a different learning style for all kind of people. I learned a lot that day. I learned that some people don't care where you are in life. They're not gonna teach you nothing. I don't believe either one of them came that day to teach me nothing. I believe they came to pull from me, take from me, and bounce. But because I didn't have much to say and I was paying attention and reading the room, they ended up just bumping heads with each other. First time meeting each other. I brought this thing together. I pulled us all in the same room because I thought for sure they were where I was mentally, which was we can do something major if we put our resources and mentalities and creative minds together. But all I learned was, oh no, it's a dog eat dog world for real. So I'm gonna get to some of these comments real briefly. Mrs. Letitia, where you at? She says, people love a bargain, but the people that we need on our journeys are growing our business, won't ask for one. Know your worth, know you're different than the rest, and add tax to that. And I have indeed, Mr. Tisha, that's a good word. I don't believe there's a person. Blessings and good afternoon to each and every one of y'all. I'd like to thank y'all for joining me today. This is a quick word on people building you up to tear you down. I'm just giving I've had quite the week, so I felt like it was important for me to speak to y'all on my transparent journey that I'm on and let y'all know the real me, things that go on behind the scenes, things that I may have messed up, things that I may have mishandled, and also victories. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep in touch with y'all and talk to y'all about the real things that go on behind this little thing of mine that I'm trying to build, right?
Peace and blessings, my brother. What's going on with you, sir?
Blessings, big dog. Down
Hey,
in the A, if y'all don't know Big
dig,
Red, man, y'all might have caught him on Atlanta Avenue, the
dig.
best series going. You understand? We got a star in the building if y'all didn't know that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Big Red, talk to me, big dog. What's on your mind?
Hey man, they was telling me a little bit about your topic, man. First of all, peace and blessings to you, brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you and Cheese are like twins. Hey man, I'm glad to be tuned in, man. So I hear the topic is about people building you up to tear you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, man, where do we start with that one? You know what I'm saying?
I can start you off. Have you had a family member that you believed in and love and would die for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just a brother from the streets or from a walk of life that you came up with, and they just didn't support you at that one time you needed them. Can you think of a time like that? Have you been through that before?
Hell, most definitely. Now I got a lot of support. Shout out to all my supporters, family and friends, man. That do support what I got going on. Before I even focus in on any negativity. Oh, it's been plenty of times, my guy, throughout the career that a person might not see the vision the way you see it, or they don't believe in that shit the way you believe in it. You know what I'm saying? And then I've been through a time where motherfucker really don't want to see you up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see you do something bigger and better than they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna support Jay-Z or somebody for to come see you. You know what I'm saying? They'll ask you for a free ticket to your concert, but turn around and go pay Future a couple $100 to go see him. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So most definitely, dog. Like, to me, man, I just think it's a lack of self-love when you do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you can't see the God in yourself, you can't see the God in somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for you to support somebody else when you don't even support yourself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So you talked about people supporting the bigger artist or the bigger act at the time before they support you. Now, what I ran into is, friends 30 years in, you know what I'm saying? Ask for the free thing, right? Fresh after you supported them on their journey. You know what I'm saying? You came out your pocket, didn't ask for no free nothing, did that. So I just encountered that, and I wanted to ask why they thought that it was cool to ask me for something free until I realized this is how they try you. If I move my price now, I'm gonna have to move it down the line, right? Do you think that it's wrong to distance yourself from those that can't get with the movement?
Nah. Everybody ain't meant to go. That's number one, right? Number two, right? Let's use this in a season perspective. So when seasons change, oftentimes the leaves distance itself from the tree. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time for it to fall. It's time for it to leave away. Shit, sometimes, man, people are seasonal. So sometimes you gotta leave these people. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna grow. If you don't leave these people, then you become stagnant and you become the person that's dead weight, a dead plant as well. You know what I'm saying? So now I don't think it's wrong. Especially if you're one of the people that's going to leave and come back with something to elevate everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes the person is just meant to be left alone, period. And it's funny that you say that because I actually just literally made a post on Facebook about cutting ties. You know what I'm saying? Like literally 2 minutes before I jumped on here about cutting ties. Some people you just got to cut these ties with. Family, friends, I don't give a fuck. I don't even really believe in the word family no more. Because, you got a person that's on the street that can treat you just like family more than the motherfucker in your family will. You know what I'm saying? And to me, if we all God body, then we all technically family too. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you came out my daddy nutsack or I came out your daddy nutsack, nigga, we all God body. So if I can see the God in myself, I can see it in you. You know what I'm saying? Which makes us family at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Hello. So I was speaking earlier. I was speaking earlier about basically people that want to come to the show, but they telling other people not to come because they ain't get the free tickets, right? They ain't get the free tickets, so now they spreading the bad word. And I said that it's not wrong that in private you get emotional about it. You get a little attitude. You might be mad, like, damn, I thought that was my folks, right?
Right.
Well, for me, I had to change that around because even most strangers have supported me than the people I know, right?
Yeah.
They pulled up like, I don't know who this dude is, but I mess with him. You know what I'm saying? And here go the full price. I did on my birthday, I did half off tickets because it was my birthday. It was strange that was like, I ain't getting you nothing half off. I've been watching you. I've been, but you deserve this whole thing for this
Big
ticket,
facts.
right? And that was dope to me. And then I turn around and it's hurtful at the beginning of my journey to see, damn, bro, all you had to do was stay put. Because when I go through this green light, I'm spinning the block so we all can get on, right? That's what I always been on.
Mm-hmm.
But I see right now spinning the block might be dangerous.
Big facts. Big facts.
That might be dangerous. I might not need to come back for nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
But I guess it ain't messed up if you understand it now early on that coming back ain't always the cool thing or the good thing. You can send help without being there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We've seen so many cases, even rappers in Atlanta, or you want to talk about Dolph, or you want to talk about it was their own neighborhoods that did bring them to their demise, right? So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I believe your character will point to. I think your character points to how you react to these situations, right? What you know, and is how you react to things. For you, moving forward, if you had to come up with a just one word for people to hold on to, or one standpoint for people to hold on to, that's dealing with what I dealt with this week, discouragement of support. What would you tell the people moving forward if they're trying to build something and they don't feel like they're getting the support from that group of people they think they should be getting it from?
One word, or should you
just give them one word, meaning like, you know, like a pastor get a word.
sometimes lack of support is what's needed to get you to get the support you need. You know, that makes sense. So in other words, if you would have got that support off the rip, you probably wouldn't be as great as you are if you did get that support. So I look at everything as a needed. I'm saying everything is needed, positive and negative, you know. So like for anything to work right, they got batteries, right? That positive and that negative got to be touching both sides. Batteries can't be on positive. Both of them can't be on negative. So you're going to need that negative, you're going to need that positive to make anything in life work. So when people don't support, that's that part of the negative that you need. Because it's going to either fuel you to be greater, or it's going to, if you already wasn't planning on doing it anyway, it's going to make you not do it because you weren't going to do it anyway. You just was hoping somebody support something that you don't believe in. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I know for me coming up, man, when I first started rapping, I didn't give a fuck if nobody supported me. I supported me. You know what I'm saying? I was just that gung-ho about doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in that lane, you gotta love yourself.
Big facts.
In that lane,
because
there's so many of y'all.
Big facts. Big facts.
Man, if y'all don't love yourself when it come to rap, look at all the memes we see. Girl, he 39, still rap, putting out mixtape. I see it all the time because that's a young man's game, so to speak, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you didn't love you in doing that, it was already gonna fail because people gonna be like, man, I'm not buying nothing else out your trunk. You're selling the same 3 songs for 4 summers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All you did was change the beat. We know that song. We don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But how y'all get up there and perform your song like nobody in the room, that tells me who the audience is. And them be the ones that usually pop.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You like, I mean, we used to call him crazy. Now he Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he was fat. Now he's skinny and rich.
That's real. That's real.
I look at that and I think to myself, you know what? My biggest problem is me right now. I'm thinking about what's going on around me because that's who I'm trying to impact naturally. I got a word for the masses when I do my pods, when I do my first show in March on the stage in front of the bright lights. I'm thinking about the impact I want to make rather than what them tickets cost. I'm telling them every dollar you spend, you're going to get it back in the experience. You know what I'm saying? But how do you make somebody believe that when it's your first time and your people is telling strangers, nah, man, we don't mess with that guy.
I'm going to tell you how you, man, like everything starts within, right? So what's within is going to radiate without. So you're saying if you believe it, then nigga, it's prone that if you come around me, whether you say it or not, I'm gonna believe it. Because if I look at you and I can tell you believe that shit, I'm gonna believe it too. And the next motherfucker's on down the line. It's like the law of attraction. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what a motherfucker put out there, you know what I'm saying? And then going back to that too, focusing on the impact around you, that's big. But guess what though? If you focus on the impact within yourself, the impact around you gonna be great no matter what the fuck you do. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that through Summer Safe. At the time in Atlanta where all the rappers talking about selling dope, killing, shooting, yada, 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 for me to be who I am in Atlanta and then to come out and say, nah, fuck that. We ain't with the gun violence no more. That was a bold ass statement. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes what I believe and what I speak about is what Charleston White talk about. He just delivered that shit in a different way.
Yeah.
We might not have the same views on every topic, but we have some similarities on our views on what we feel about our community and our young black males. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way. You want to be on the interview when I get him?
Who White? Yeah. White. Them folks know me. Like,
I know he came down. I know he came down there.
Yeah, when he came down here, I was sick, so I turned him on the drizzle. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so that's how drizzle got locked in with him. But yeah, I was up under the weather when he came, so I had locked him in, so they got tight. I just think at the timing, I think the timing was God was putting in perfect timing. It wasn't time for me to meet him at the time. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason. That's the reason I'm waiting. I think to follow him, it got to be something else impactful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think you could make a small move, big move, back down to a small move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That send the wrong message. You know what I'm saying? You like, well, what you had? You just hit one lick. That's all you had. You feel what I'm saying though? I can't drop one song and then 6 years go by. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Rihanna. I can't drop no one song and not come back. We got to come back with consistent heat. So that's why I said that when you said timing, I was with all of that. Now, speaking of timing, so what do you do when you're wired to connect? So people, we live in a society now where everybody is fuck friends. I don't need nobody. I can't trust nobody. Everybody snakes. And you know what the music say and the internet screams it, right?
Right.
What do you do when you wired to connect? We as people are wired to want love from somewhere, right?
Right.
So if we saying we wired to connect, what do you do when we wired to connect, but everybody's telling you don't trust nobody and don't do nothing? How do you see through that? Do you just block it out? You got tunnel vision when it comes to that?
Big facts. So mainly, like I said, man, this shit start with self, bro. Once you know self and you love self, you can't let another motherfucker outside of self tell you something that don't connect with self. You know what I mean? First of all, I pay attention to what people talk when they say out loud, right? Words have power. Words have meaning. I pay attention to how people put sentences together and what words they choose to use when they talking. That lets me know whether they thinking before they speak or they just saying some shit that they heard from their mama, their grandmama, the preacher, the internet, the friends, etc., etc. So when a motherfucker tell me they don't need nobody, first thing I say is they confused. Because number one, you need Georgia Power to cut the lights on every motherfucking day. You need that goddamn Kroger to give you some food every day because you ain't growing that shit at your house. You gonna need that toilet paper to wipe your ass every day when you sit on that toilet stool. So your motherfucking lie, you don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? I go to break it down to the finite point of, nigga, you needed BP to go put some gas in your car today. You needed a nigga to buy that car from. So to use that statement, that's like the most ignorant statement in the world. You know, that lets me know you don't know self. You know what I'm saying? Even when people go to speaking, fuck this and fuck that. I don't trust this. I don't trust that. What I learned in my experience, bro, when I didn't trust people or women or niggas in the street is because I didn't trust myself. You know what I'm saying?
And the way you was living, right?
Facts. Like at the time, my boy, if I can't trust myself to make the proper decision, like I was smoking cigarettes at the time. Let's just say that. Nigga, I can't trust myself to make a proper decision to save my own motherfucking life. I'm waking up every day hitting some shit I know gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling it kill me every day, and I'm like, fuck it. So guess what? If I can't trust myself to make the proper decision, how the fuck I'm gonna come around you and trust you? So if I ain't trust myself, of course I'm gonna get around the masses and be like, I don't trust nobody. You know why? Because I'm going home every day and I'm making decisions based on my lack of trust for myself. So that's how I quit smoking cigarettes, bro. I just had to wake up and ask myself, damn, do you really give a fuck about yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you do, then nigga make a different decision. So what I did was, nigga, I didn't go get no patch. I didn't go goddamn get no medicine, no none of that. I told myself the same way I started this shit, I'm gonna finish this shit. I'm gonna let that shit go. That comes with the self-discipline, and the self-respect, and the self-love to say, okay, I have the power and autonomy to make any decision I want to make. Now it's up to me to make that decision. So ultimately, everything starts with me again. So if I go to loving myself, I go to respecting myself, I go to trusting myself, I can get with Jermaine and say, man, I love that brother. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't with that brother. I can build with that brother. Because get what? I'm building with myself already. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is, man, I get away from the people that tell me who they are. Like, you know, no disrespect to Thug and all his people, but my nigga, whenever you go to tell me you slime, you slime. I mean, why would I fuck with you? Why would I fuck with you and then be surprised at the outcome after you already told me you was a snake and you was slime? So the same way everybody telling on each other in that trial, nigga, that's what they're supposed to do. They all said they were snakes in the beginning. They all said they were slime. They all said fuck each other and cross your nigga out and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, my nigga, I listen to what people say and do. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no way in the fuck you finna come out and tell me you a killer and I ain't gonna believe you. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna believe what you say at first until I realize, okay, he just talking. But essentially, my nigga, I'm gonna believe what you say because niggas don't just say shit out their mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Well, for me, I ain't gonna push nobody to become what they don't even believe though. You know what I'm saying? We put ourselves in situations sometimes where we dare somebody to do it, and that's also a mistake because you testing it. So now I want to say this though. I want to get you onto this. What do you do when life is dependent upon the networking? Like even in your life, I know you moving. You got Atlanta Avenue. You got the Safe Summer Atlanta. You got so many things moving. The music. With all of these projects and doing all of these things, you're forced to be networking. You're forced to align yourself with people that maybe it's only for a business deal. It ain't even every day, right? Around these same types of individuals that care nothing about Big Red.
Yeah.
They don't care about Big Red. They don't care nothing about, you know, you having a mama, sister, daughter, you know, whatever in your family to care for and love. You're not cutting yourself off from opportunity. I'm sure of it. You speak like a man that's trying to progress every day, right?
Absolutely.
So in a world like that, talking to the people, I'm asking you this question so that you can speak to the people. In a world that says, F everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
F everybody. I ain't fucking with nobody. That don't even make sense, first of all, to me. But are you saying from your previous statement that the love always wins? The love always wins. If you genuine and true to yourself, the love gonna win. Whatever the bullshit they own, stick with the love of yourself and keep putting yourself out there and networking, doing what you got to do. Are you saying that that's the proper way to move forward?
Absolutely. And I also feel like in some instances, like the movie said, man, show no love, love will get you killed. Don't get rich or die trying. In some instances, that's true. But at the end of the day, love will always prevail. I don't give a fuck. You can show that much hate as you want to. At the end of the day, you love somebody. Like you just said earlier, you love your mama, your dog, your cat.
It's gonna come out somewhere.
Hell yeah. So all it takes is for me to stay into what I am in tune with. And also, like I said, I believe I'm a big fan of law of attraction, my boy. You attract to you who you are. You attract to you what you are. Or who you may be in and become. It's up to you to decipher. So for me, I know who I am internally. So when I go out in the public, I'm usually going to attract like-minded, like thoughts.
Individuals, yeah.
Yeah, all day long. Now I'm going to also attract some of those people that was from my past too. You know what I'm saying? That my past mentality used to be. You know
now talk about it.
Yeah.
Is that hard to stay away from now?
My past?
Yeah.
No, fuck no. That shit easy to stay away from now. Now because I'm at a level in my life where I know what I want. I know what actions got certain results, if that makes sense. So I know, hell, I don't miss being in the trap. What the fuck? That's what it is. It's a trap. You know what I'm saying? Like the word. You feel what I'm saying? Like we hear these words and we don't pay attention to them. The trap is just what it does. It traps you. So hell no, I don't miss being in those shootouts. Hell no, I don't miss going to jail every other month. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, I don't miss doing no time. You know what I'm saying? I I love what I do now. You know what I'm saying? I love when I go out here and I change these kids' life, my nigga. I love when I can give a kid an option, which is the part of the program I got called Give a Kid an Option program, where we never tell a kid to put down a gun without giving them something to pick up. You know what I mean? Because it's easy for you to tell a kid, oh, put the gun down. Well, guess what? I was one of them kids that I grew up in real extreme poverty, my nigga. So when I was toting that gun, man, fuck what you talking about. You tell me to put it down, I might be the nigga taking your shit up off you right now. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm hungry.
Because I'm hungry. You facts. My mama on crack. I got a nigga. I don't know if I'm gonna have nowhere to stay when I go back home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I had somebody like me that was coming through and giving me an option to put that gun down, hey, it might have turned out different. So that's what I'm on, man. When you see this child that had no other option before you met this child, besides selling dope and carrying a gun, and then you can bring an option, man, shit, that's peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, it's exuberating, man. The feeling of knowing that you just gave a child a way out, that he's not gonna end up in a prison, he's not gonna end up dead. You know what I'm saying? He got another way. So now,
or killing somebody else.
Yeah, hell yeah, or killing your kid or your nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Right.